Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good pals Jimmy and Dylan. Oh man, I'm so tired. Joining us all the way from Germany, our good friend Julia. How are you doing, Julia?
Hi guys. I'm actually fine. A little bit stressed out because I have some exams coming up, but I couldn't pass on the opportunity to be on the PJ's cast.
Aw.
The most exciting podcasting
Yeah!
Blackhawks fan.
I mean, I've been
Blackhawks
a fan of your podcast for quite some time now, so it was time to come back.
Oh yeah, we should mention she literally made our logo.
Yeah,
Spotify logo. It's everywhere now. Out of the kindness of her heart. So, big round of applause for Julia. Okay, I guess I'm the only one there. Okay. There you go, Pierce. Thank you. You're a good
Golf
Canadian
clap.
man. Thank you. Yes. All right. So.
Yeah, we're forming a bit of a United Nations here. We got Canada, Germany, and the United States.
Yeah. How do we feel about net neutrality?
I don't know, man. We'll see.
How are we gonna be United Nations without that?
Can you tell that we've had a lot of sleep?
Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
just
no,
so
I
ecstatic.
say good lord.
Jeez. So why don't we talk about something that'll make us more excited? How about the shitty ass Blackhawks?
The Washington Commanders. That's what I want to talk about. That gets me going. I'm excited for that, man.
God,
And you see the jerseys too. They changed the jerseys.
Let me tell you something. I am so excited that we're going on an all-star break. I am so burnt out from this stupid sport and the Blackhawks just ruining my nights like 3 to 4 times a week. I'm so over it. Like,
Yeah.
This
And then-
point, I'm quite relieved that the games are usually at 3 a.m. my time because then
Oh
I
my
have an
God.
excuse not to watch it.
oh God,
This
you're
might
so
be
lucky.
bad, but I
No, you're
I
right.
can't.
Listen, mental health matters, and we've all talked about it. The Blackhawks are not a good mental health team this year, especially when the rest of the world's not making it any better. It's not exactly where
Actually-
you should be investing yourself.
They've never been a good mental health team for me. I started
No.
watching in
Yeah.
2018, but I didn't watch a lot, so it was probably 2019.
Apollo.
No.
You've been there for all this shit.
Not a good year to start. And I
Yes, they
blame
should,
it
yeah.
all. I blame it all on Dominic Cahoon because he was the reason I started cheering for the Hawks.
This man's back at home.
Of course.
He looks out his window and he's like, somewhere out there, someone just talked shit. Nah, it's just the wind. Wait, is he playing in Germany at the moment? Because
No, he's playing in Switzerland. He moved to Switzerland.
Yeah, we talked about this. He's there, and there are other players overseas with same skill set and same amount of skill, and yet Zach Ronaldo's probably going to get more NHL ice time. So speaking of this stupid league and this dumb sport,
Do you not remember what happened with Zach Ronaldo?
Ooh, I do remember what happened with Zach Ronaldo. But the fact that he was given an opportunity is my
That
point.
is true.
The fact that is
Buddy
Evander
hits
Kane
and he
just
fights and
a
he's
contract.
gritty. Come on.
Yeah, but he does hockey stuff, guys. Come on.
God, he's so good. He'll just punch you in the face when he gets cooked up and down the ice. Don't worry. So good. That's what we want in
yes.
our players.
CTE deliverer.
Like I just can't, dude. And like the Hawks are just such a frustrating team right now because I sometimes I feel like we're watching 1920s hockey. I don't think they realize you can skate forward with the puck and pass it forward. I swear to God, they think you have to.
Hey, buddy,
fucking
this is a
pass it behind
1920s now.
every
You
time
can skate a forward with the puck.
I'm serious, bro. They don't think a forward pass exists. These guys always have to recruit. It's
You know, at
pulling
times,
teeth just to
man.
get out of their own end, and it's so stupid. Because
I don't know how many times that
Mhm.
Schmitty and I have been at a Hawks game, and we see Kane or Jones or DeBrincat get to the blue line. We're like, okay, they're moving, and just good 180, throw it right back pass every time, and you see it every time. Every defender on the other team stops in their tracks. They're like, okay, anything they had, I can wait for it. You're literally giving them time to reset. It's ridiculous.
Seth Jones did a power move up the middle of the ice last game. I thought he was going to take it into the zone on his own, and he just drops it immediately. I'm just like, I can't do this, guys. I can't do this. I can't.
Do you think the Blackhawks front office has money on them if they don't do at least 3 drop passes a game? Because it's incredible. It's forced.
No, I just think it's literally the definition of insanity because they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and thinking it's going to fucking work. work, which by definition is the definition. Like, that's insanity. That's actual insanity by definition, and they think it's going to work, and they've been trying it for now 5 years. I thought it would change with the new coaching regime, but the same coaching regime wants to do the same shit.
They've been doing it through 3 coaching staffs. No, they did it with Quinville. They did it with Colleton. They did it with Colleton's, Frankenstein staff.
Quinville didn't do the drop pass.
Colleton got his staff in there. But didn't he? Did he not? No, I remember 2018-19 before the season. I was Boakfist. Maybe he wasn't trying the drop pass. No, like preseason. I remember preseason watching that game, and I'm like, they're not going to stop.
Probably after they fired their fucking power play coach that 1 year. So
that makes sense.
I'm so over it. Like, I'm so over this team. Like, they don't deserve Fleury. I feel like we say this every fucking show. Like, every other show, there's some rumor that he's going to get traded to Colorado yesterday, and he never does. There's not, like, the fact that this team is so mediocre and so mundane right now that, like, there's actually nothing to talk about with this team should just tell you. Like, what the fuck is there to talk about, guys? Like, what? Ooh, Calvin DeHaan got toasted again. What else is new? I hope he fucking blocks me on Twitter for that shit.
Yeah, like little insight in the notes.
That's all.
In the notes I just put, I'm like, the season's kind of just stagnant. Like, what are our hopes for the rest of the year? It's the only thing that I can really conjure up, because they're continually doing this. It's, they have 1 or 2 good games. They have 2 or 3 that are either incredibly boring or incredibly disastrous or heartbreaking. It's one of the 3. It's never normal. It's never just, it's a good game and they lose. It's like, it has to be in some way. It's got to be in some way. It's got to be to a division rival, all that. So, I mean, what is there really to talk about besides, kind of touch on, what do you want for the rest of the year? But
not gift
wouldn't like to get into that just yet. Before we get into anything else, I want to ask Julia, you have an upcoming podcast with some friends. I was wondering if you could talk about that. Maybe kind of put it out there a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure, I can. Our podcast is launching on Sunday, February 6th. I'm pretty excited. I met all of my co-hosts on Twitter, which is
Who would do that?
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah.
You need that in-person chemistry. Come on.
Yeah, it's also pretty fun because we are pretty international. We have someone from Luxembourg. We have someone from Finland, Northern Ireland, Great Britain, and me from Germany. So that's kind of fun, but we won't talk about hockey, but about
that's a good thing, probably.
We're going to talk about MotoGP. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about that, if that's a thing. I don't know.
They ride motorcycles.
Yeah, they ride motorcycles. They have 3 categories.
F1's pretty big here. F1's pretty big in the States, honestly. It's got a lot of growth. I don't know about MotoGP, but it's more of a known thing now.
Yeah,
especially with the documentaries on it.
Formula One in general is more popular than MotoGP. It has always been. But MotoGP to me is more interesting because the bikes make for a way more interesting race than the cars do. And MotoGP is actually trying to, I think Formula One is trying to expand in the States because they have a Miami GP coming up, I think. That's a new one. They built a circuit for that. And I think MotoGP only has 1 race in the States. It's in Texas, Circuit of the Americas. I think it's in Texas.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but other than that, it's going all over the world: Australia, Asia, Europe.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Pickle.
Have you seen a picture of where it's like Pickle, will you please come to small town in Alaska? And then there's like a picture of him in that Walmart.
Listen, man.
That's what I thought of.
Takes no days off. How do you think he gets around the world, man? Come on. Like, can't just do it on your own. Can't just fucking lollygag your way around the world. It's a title that needs to be held on a daily basis.
Yeah. A lot of work, effort, and determination put into that.
So yeah, Julie, that's your podcast. Yeah, if there's anything else you want to add or anything you want to plug, go ahead. You can always beg people to give you 5-star ratings. It's what we do. So that's
I mean,
probably the
do
healthiest
such
way to
an
do it.
awful
Yeah,
thing
no,
like
no.
that.
I mean,
You don't
I
want to
don't
give
know.
people a choice. You
I don't know.
you got to take advantage of the industrial world we have. Come on.
True, but I don't know if anyone who listens to a hockey podcast is interested in MotoGP. If you want to give it a listen, it's at the Sighting Lab on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. We also have Twitter, Instagram, and a TikTok.
Wow.
And I actually, the new addition we have to our hockey group chat, Carly, is with me on the podcast, and I got her into hockey. So that's pretty
You
fun.
evil thing. No, just kidding.
Why do you do that to her?
Two, 3
Come
years and be
on.
like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah, no.
I
Julia texted me and
apologize.
she's like, "Jimmy, I got my friend into hockey, my co-host." I'm like, "Why the fuck are you doing
Boy, I
this?"
really shouldn't have gotten to this whole hockey thing.
I
Yeah.
actually apologized to her, and the first thing I said to her was, if you get into hockey, don't make the Blackhawks your favorite team. You're going to suffer. What did she do? She picked the Blackhawks. I don't know what it was, but she was just probably because I tweet about them, and she was like, I like them now. I like DeBrincat. I like Fleury. I'm gonna support the Hawks. And I'm like, God, that's a mistake. Don't do it.
Should have been the Maple Leafs, man. Come on.
No,
Just
I
pick a
would've
team that's
frowned.
not going to disappoint you. Like, come on.
No, that was another team. I was like, no, you don't support them because you're just going to suffer.
Yeah.
She's going to support Germany in the Olympics, so either
Speaking
it's gonna
of
go
disappointment.
great or she's gonna suffer as well.
If it's anything like last time, it's going to be. Speaking of the Maple Leafs, I mean,
But enough about. Let's make this about the Leafs.
yeah, come on.
Yeah, enough about your
What have I
great
ever
podcast
made about the
coming up.
Leafs?
Let's talk about the Leafs, the thing that things that people want.
Things that people want. Please.
Random neuron firing. What happens first? A Kendrick Lamar album or Toronto Maple Leafs winning a playoff series?
Definitely.
I think.
Kendrick's out.
Wait. In a literal sense, it could actually be the Leafs winning a playoff series if they pull it off this year. I answered that way too seriously. I'm going with it. I'm going with the Leafs playoff series, which is insane. But
I feel like you're jinxing it.
Yeah, he is 100%.
listen, stop.
Don't just
How-
let him do it.
How can listen? It's either one podcast I'm saying that they're sending me to a mental institute, or I'm saying that I think they're actually going to win a playoff game this year.
That's
Series
scored a
game.
power play
Either
goal.
I don't know if they're going to win a playoff game this year, but I'm trying to give myself some positivity.
No. The only
Wait,
reason
hold
I
up,
say
hold up.
Kendrick is because Kendrick's performing at the halftime show for the Super Bowl, and usually people don't do that unless they
yeah.
got something big coming out that year.
Let me just say, you don't usually pair yourself with Eminem, Dr. Dre,
And Snoop Dogg.
unless you need to get some publicity.
DOWG.
Like,
Mary J. Blige.
I didn't know who she was. Not gonna
Exactly.
lie.
Bro, really put
I am
Nebraska in
uncultured.
there.
Oh, really? Really trying to sneak it in there.
Performing is Nebraska. Somebody.
No, it's like California,
Some guy from
Texas,
Nebraska.
New York, and Nebraska.
That's gonna
All
be,
right.
that halftime show is gonna be just I don't know.
I'm only there
is
for
going through
Kendrick,
so
man.
much shit right now with like the Brian Forrest stuff that halftime show is gonna come off as very backhanded. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. First day of Black History Month and Brian Forrest drops all that shit. Just saying. It's
I didn't
a
even
lot
think
of
about
shit.
that.
It's a lot of shit and none of it's good. I'm not
The
gonna.
Big Four
I'd rather
sports
not go into
having
detail on the
racist
show
owners.
because I can just rant about it for like 45 minutes. But
I was gonna say,
Let's
yeah,
do
I
that.
think
That's
if
a great idea.
all you need
No.
to know is that the Dolphins, Broncos, and fucking Giants are pieces of shit. That's all you need.
this isn't. Oh, hi Violet. This isn't hockey Twitter where there's there's enough going on to where you need to hear about it on a podcast. No, it's the NFL. You're gonna see it on Twitter. It's trending. It's gonna be on NBC.
was on
News. It's
national
gonna be
news
everywhere.
Yeah, this is
Exactly. You're not gonna miss this. You don't need
It
us
was
to
on
tell you about
CBS
that.
today. Like, just,
And our stance is just like fuck racist owners. It is that. It's always going to be that. It's the problem with the Big Four in general. it's a problem with a lot of things in North America, but on these
Anything
topics,
involving a lot of money, it's a good bet that there's an old white guy behind it, and he might be racist.
I saw someone, it was like Mike Florio or something like that on Pro Football Talk. He was just like, it doesn't surprise me at this point that billionaires do sketchy shit. Like, I don't think any of that surprises me anymore. Like, we've seen so many situations with higher ups in every sport, I feel like, across the world. And it's just like,
it should have taken this long to figure it out, man. It shouldn't take this long.
I just hope it takes the forefront and they don't try to blow smoke over it in a week, like the NHL tries to do with everything that they do.
Yeah, what kind of sport would?
Yeah, what kind of league would just shove it under the rug when the rug is literally like 2 feet high, full of shit? Couldn't be me, bro. It's like what's the joke where like you shove everything in your closet, but the closet door's breaking, so you just keep fucking like shoving it and George hands.
It's like the cartoon; they're just kicking the door in. It's literally bending. It's going this way, that way.
And fucking, actual humanity. It's just like human decency. No, throw it in the closet. We need to fucking make money.
If it weren't for Rick Westhead, like the NHL would have just kept pushing that shit under the rug or pushing that back into the closet.
I get it. Like some of the big reporters in the NHL had higher ups and they have like connections and shit. Gives you no right to report on it as less as they did. And I'm not calling out names, but I am going to call out names. I'm looking right at Elliot Friedman and like Chris Johnson. Cause like they were specifically quiet because they had connections and they didn't want to ruin them. And I know that's why. And I'm sorry. I kind of lose respect for that.
Oh, it's with every big reporter, like Pierre LeBrun too, like Darren Dreger, like just all those guys.
All of them. All the main ones like that obviously have been around forever. Like, shit, I know he's not reporting anymore, but Bob McKenzie didn't say a goddamn thing about it for the longest time.
Yeah,
like
I've gone back and forth.
I lose respect for these people when you don't report on stuff that needs to be reported because you're trying to help the league shove it under the rug. I'm sorry, there's just no respect.
Yeah. Even if their goal is to keep their sources, and I go back and forth on this because it's you're kind of in this area that you're in this position that you didn't do anything involving the 2010 Blackhawks. You weren't a part of that, but it is your job and your duty to get this out there, is to spread word about it. Come on, if Rick Westhead wasn't the only person talking about that, this would have been a much different story.
Rick Westhead was obviously doing the heavy lifting, but also like Katie String.
He shouldn't have to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Elliot Friedman, and also yes, absolutely. But
we're not even like asking them to do the stuff Rick Westhead had. Like just even like talk about it. They didn't even do that.
Schmitty, I'm going to ask you.
Use your platform.
Yeah.
Use your platform.
I'm going to ask you, Schmitty, because obviously you know about the NFL more than any of us here. What do you think there's any chances to actually get shoved under the rug? Because if you said you mentioned it's national news, it's out there. Do you think that anything comes from this, or is it just going to be under the rug again?
Well, something's definitely going to come for it. He sued the NFL and 3 separate organizations. He's going to get it's going to take.
Oh, I thought it was just the Dolphins. Oh my.
Oh, Broncos.
Trust me, there's burning bridges and then there's burning the whole town, like Brian Flores is about to do.
As he fucking should.
There's 2 different ways to go about this, and I don't blame him at all, because the fact that he has the strength to come up and speak up and actually do this, he has all the respect in the world for me, because this dude should have a head coaching job right now. All like bets off. Like this dude took a roster. They were 10-6 last year. They had a winning record this year. They started off like 1-9 when he took the job, and then they won 5 straight at the end of the year, the first season. I don't know, man. I really hope something comes from it. But here's my problem with the NFL. They know the Super Bowl's in 2 weeks. They know that's their cash cow. They are going to try to shove this under the rug as long as possible, at least until after the Super Bowl. And that's not going to fucking fly with me. Like, I'm sorry, for a league that always wears like the end racism shit on the back of your helmets and shit.
Hold hands and let's end racism.
It's just, man, like just fucking put like big old hypocrite sign on your head. That's all I'm going to say.
Seriously. And even though
clearly it's not every team.
It's the league, having them all over these helmets and putting them on TV and everything. And yet this is what you're doing behind the scenes. Let's not act like it's, anything.
Hey, listen, all I'm going to say is Brian Flores ain't suing the Bears, and they offered him a head coaching job. So
I was going to say,
it's not full of racist piece of shit. They're just old and dumb.
Justin Fields, being the, all right. So, Let's get into something even more exciting, or actually exciting. Let's talk about Germany hockey. Let's get out of America for a little bit.
Julia, you do your thing.
Yeah, floor is yours, Julia. All the pressure in the world. Here you go. Yeah, let's just pull her she's like hold off this and just uncomfortable talk we're putting out there for a good 5 minutes. Talk about hockey. Talk. Let's go.
Yeah, talk.
Podcast practice.
No stopping
German hockey is pretty cool.
Could you imagine go to the front of the class, presenting your exam? German hockey is pretty cool.
That's kind of what it feels like right now. You're just putting me on the spot. But no, I'm extremely excited for the team we Tony Söderholm put together for the Olympics. Because it's a pretty young team and they had a hard time deciding who they're gonna pick and who has to stay at home, because right now we have a lot of good players and they're maybe not at the level it takes to play in the NHL, but they are good and they have incredible team chemistry, and that's kind of what has held this team together so well, especially in 2018 when they won that silver medal in the Olympics. It was all team chemistry and how they built that team. And I'm so excited to see if they can do it again this year, to build just like this very, very tight team. They are blocking so many shots. I've never seen a team block as many shots as the German team does.
No man can block that many shots.
They got a lot of heart.
It's incredible. Like the Worlds, was it the last Worlds where it was last year, right? 2021. I'm still confused. I'm not in
No, time does not make any sense now. Don't worry.
Wait, did they have the Worlds last year?
Now.
They had like so many bruises. I just remember Tom Kühnhackl limping off the ice like every second game because he took a puck somewhere on his body and he was just not able to like continue playing right away.
It's a Stanley Cup champion, Tom Kühnhackl.
Isn't that back-to-back Stanley Cup?
Back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Tom Kühnhackl would be
I
exact.
have to say, I'm still a little bit mad because he is from the city. Like, I always say my hometown hockey team, but they are not technically my hometown team, but they are the closest team available. And he was born there. He played there for a long, long time. They have his like banner and number up in the building.
The pride of Germany, Tom Kühnhackl. Yeah.
Yeah, and he brought the Stanley Cup to that city. And back then I wasn't that interested in hockey. And I missed it, and I'm still a bit pissed about that. But yeah, he's currently playing in Sweden and joining Team Germany for the Olympics.
He'll break his legs again. Can't wait to see it.
I'm excited to see what Germany does, though, because like you said, they won silver in 2018, and now that I know we were all excited for the NHL players originally to go, but now that they're not, I feel like it's just such a more wide open. It was going to be wide open anyway.
But Jeremy Colton's coaching Team Canada, so that takes them out of a mix. Am I right?
Yeah, they're already.
I was going to say Germany's in trouble, man. Come on.
When I heard that the NHLers were going to go, like when it was first decided, I was a bit because we don't have a lot of NHL players. So it would have been extremely hard to compete against Canada, the US, Finland, Sweden, Russia. So these are the teams that are stacked with NHL players, I think. And Germany doesn't really have that. I mean, we have Draisaitl, we have Grubauer, who's not performing that well this season.
He's having a rough year. Oh man.
He's struggling. We don't have Greis because he's banned from the team for obvious reasons, which is good.
Look it up if you don't know.
There's like
Sorry.
And then Nico Sturm from the Minnesota Wild could have played. He's good. And then the others are, well, obviously the rookies. Seider is missing. That guy is missing from the team, and I'm pissed about him not being able to go. But we'll manage somehow. And then obviously Peterka and Reichel are missing too. I am especially mad about Lucas not being able to play with Leo Pföder and Marcel Nübels, because that was the power line in Berlin and they lit it up during the Worlds. They were so good. Lucas, 18 years on the first line, always.
Yeah.
So much ice time, and he played so well. And I wish he could have gotten the opportunity to play his first Olympics game, but that's not gonna happen.
Hey,
But
maybe
least,
in 2026 when they
I was
give
gonna
us
say,
that
on the
hope
bright side,
again,
he's only
then,
19,
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah, and by then he's going to be most likely he's going to be like a top 6 player in the NHL. You can probably bet on that if he develops.
Hopefully
Gonna be
Well.
still in the
traded for
Blackhawks.
Especially with how he
Brandon Saad.
looked. You
I
know?
was like, hopefully still in the
Okay.
Blackhawks. We don't trade him by
Yeah.
then.
Oh,
Bowman's not
seriously.
here, so we'll actually keep our prospects.
don't get me started on that. Them trading all the prospects. Jesus Christ. When I saw
Oh, you know she's a Hawks fan. Like, come on. The Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I-
She's turned to the
Oh,
dark
boy.
side.
I watched
Seriously.
the draft and I didn't expect Lucas to go that high. And I was surprised the Hawks took
I think a
him.
lot of us were.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
us.
I knew that he was an extremely good player, and some people were really shitting on that decision. Like, no, why did you take him? I've always liked him, and I knew that the Hawks were his favorite team growing up. So I was happy for him, but immediately I was thinking, oh, we're gonna trade him, won't we? At least Bowman's
Stop
not
it.
there anymore. So I hope he can stay and develop. I hope they keep him because he's really good.
Yeah, like as I was gonna say, the way they're handling him, it reminds me of. Oh man, no, I'm not gonna bring. Okay, but no, yeah,
Say it,
no,
Jerry.
no.
Come on, Jerry, say it. I know you
Come
are.
on, Bart, say
Come on,
it.
it's
It's like the Leafs. But no, I'm not gonna. No. But no, the way they're handling him gives me a lot of hope that they're gonna hold on to him. Like we talked about it, like Doc and Boakfist, they shoved him right into the league right away. But we're seeing with Reichel, like they're very hesitant to put him in the NHL. So
They're
If
taking
you
their
need-
sweet ass time, which they should be doing.
I think it was good that they kind of gave him a taste of what it is like to play in the NHL with how many games was he up there? 2?
3.
3? Okay.
Was it 2?
But
I don't
I'm-
know.
No, it was
2 or
2.
3. Okay.
I'm glad they put him back because I think he's putting up pretty good numbers
He's
in
point
the
per game
AHL.
in Rockford, I think, which is very damn good for a 19-year-old who just came over to North America.
And he's had like
Yeah.
a revolving door in his wings in the minors. So it's always nice. And I'm just really intrigued to see where he's going to end up slotting in this lineup in like 2 years. Because I feel like next year will be like I would hope he's in the lineup next year full time. But if not, then that's fine. They could take another year in the A. But like in 2 years, I hope he's like a solidified middle 6,
Yeah.
top 6 guy in the team because he's got so much talent.
I can see him do that. This guy is very, very hardworking. And I think he can do it.
I say he doesn't.
Same with Peterka. I'm bummed he has to play for Buffalo.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he was actually initially he was the one that was supposed to go the highest in the draft that year. It was Peterka, I think, and then they projected Reichel and Elias to go later. I don't even know if Elias was drafted.
Don't think so, no.
I
No, I
don't
really
think so
don't.
either. I know that Kvap was drafted by Carolina, I think. He's a goalie prospect.
Oh,
That was like the Germans, I remember. But I didn't have Reichel going in the first round on my bingo card. And then he went to Chicago and Peterka suddenly dropped to the second round, I think, second or third.
Yeah.
I have his
Buffalo.
elite prospects pulled up right now.
I
He's
thought he
the
was going to go to
34th
Ottawa. I
overall.
thought Ottawa was going to pull off getting him and Stutzla, and I was going to be like, oh.
Which is ridiculous that they didn't, because how
They
sick
should.
would that be in the future, man?
Oh, that would have been nice.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, I think we all saw that Stutzla overtime winner the other day. Just Patty Kane
Oh.
type of snipe there. Perfect.
Bueno.
Yeah.
He's another one of the German
fine.
players that is just so good. Like when I say so good, I mean of course there are better players out there, but for German standards,
No,
it's
you're not
just-
allowed. You're not allowed to compliment players if there's better ones out there. We only talk about David on here.
Yeah, because I always like gush about the German players, but for us it's so exciting to see that they can reach something in the NHL and be like at a very, very good level. And I think Stützle is going there, Reichel hopefully, and I mean we don't have to talk about Seider, do we? That guy.
No, that's
Seider should win the Calder,
Absolutely.
honestly.
He should.
We
He
talked
should.
about
Listen,
it.
listen, Zegers this, Raymond that, but what he's doing as a
Michael
defenseman
Bunting. No.
and as a rookie,
Michael Bunting.
unheard of. I think the last
He
guy
was
to
like,
have
yeah,
that
I know that
smooth-
guy.
Yeah, that's a guy. He's on the Leafs.
I'm sorry.
We should talk about that.
Abolish the Leafs. I'm sick of it. Anyways, I'd rather talk about good hockey players.
I don't
not someone
back
who's
the
a
blue.
merchant of Boston Matthews. Anyway.
Hey, listen, I'm not denying that. At all.
No, but seriously, Siders had the smoothest transition I've seen from a defenseman since probably Hayes getting in my car. It's insane. Like I
Perfect
would say
transition.
he hasn't skipped a beat, if not gotten better, since he was in the
Yeah.
SHL before, I believe, right?
Dude, he won best
Yeah.
defenseman in the SHL after, like, what was it? Was that his D1 or something? Was that his D1? If not, it was still
I think
crazy.
he played in the German league in his draft year. Then he played in the AHL in his second year.
Yes.
Like after getting drafted,
Yeah.
then he went back to the SHL now this year.
They
And then-
put him
Blew it up.
like the Griffins moved him, or like the Wings, because technically he's on the Wings contract, I think.
Yeah, it was a long,
They
I think,
sent
correct?
him to Sweden because the AHL was like done because of COVID, right? I think there was like
Oh.
a
Yeah.
big ass break where they were like, we can't play. So they put him to like in the Swedish league, and he won, I think, Rookie of the Year and
Yeah.
in Sweden. I was over the moon for him. Like, I think I didn't really watch German hockey before 2019, and I think it was the Worlds in 2019 when I first saw him, and I didn't know a lot about hockey back then, and I just watched him play and was like, that guy is good. And back then he was
That's a player.
how old
Yeah.
was he? 17, 18 maybe.
Would have been.
And then I don't remember what game it was, but someone checked him into the boards extremely hard. He went down and didn't get back up. He didn't get up. They had to carry him off the ice essentially, and he had a really bad concussion, and he was missing from that team. You could see the team wasn't doing as well without him than they did with him. And ever since I was saying that he was gonna be great, and now in Detroit, I don't have any words for it. I think he should win the Calder, but
We talked about
Seagrass and
this.
his
Danny
freaking
Kaiser.
Michigans.
He'll be the best defenseman in that
Seagrass
organization
and his
since
fucking
Lindstrom.
Michigans, exactly. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
that's like, I don't need to see the Michigan like twice a season. Like, I don't need to see the magic tricks. Give me a good defenseman.
Wow,
I'm
John
so with you
Tortorella
on
here.
this one. Like, if I had a choice between a flashy forward like Zegras and a top pairing defenseman like Seider, I'm taking Seider every day of the week and twice on
Yeah.
Sundays. Like, I'm
Yeah,
so.
do you want the guy who can do his cute little Michigan, or do you want the guy who's saving Michigan hockey?
Do you want the guy who literally is holding the blue line for a shitty blue line?
Yeah.
With Danny DeKaiser!
Has
With Danny
Danny
DeKaiser!
Ball and chain. Like
Jordan Osterman.
Jordan
Who
Osterman.
got his first goal in 62 games last night. Do not bash him. Thank you.
Oh, I'll continue to bash him, but anyways.
No, please do.
I
continue.
Funny
think
enough, more Insider facing off against Jeff Zegras, so propaganda continues.
that in the 87 times the Calder was awarded, it was 12 defensemen. Only 12. And I
That's
think
not surprising.
I think that it's time for another one. And I think it's time for cider.
Oh, easy.
The only recent ones I can think of are Makar and Ekblad, and they are.
And Hughes could have won one if he wasn't going up against Makar.
So, yeah. That's a great way to put it too.
And
Because he would have been a runaway any other year.
Yeah, it's just so nice to have this like cream of the crop young defenseman group coming up. And Cider just gets added to the list. It's like,
what about Steve Mason?
Like you think of all these big names that are getting like $9 million on their contracts and stuff, and Detroit's like, we got Cider on a nice little entry level deal for the next 3 years, and they're not going to do a damn thing with it.
That draft was funny too because he went 6th, right? Yeah.
I remember.
6th Reiserman.
There's a loud gasp in the arena, like when they took him. It was like such a huge shock.
Yeah.
I was speechless. Hockey Germany was speechless.
I think everyone
was speechless.
Except for
everyone thought the Doc pick was out of the water, and then that happened. That somehow completely one-upped it. Same in about a few minutes later.
Didn't expect it at all. I think no one did. Hockey Germany started celebrating. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is our guy!" Like the next Draisaitl, but on the blue line. And then the Twitter comments like poured in, and everyone was like, "Oh, that was a bad pick. That was a
same
shitty
with Kirby
pick.
Doc, yeah."
Like, why did you pick
online?
Why would you pick a German guy? And that's why I started to like. I was angry, and now.
Damn.
Having a Joker moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to make Julie angry.
I'm glad the people finally shut up about it and are happy that he's there now.
Oh yeah, and I feel like if anything with Cider, that just gave him a chip on his shoulder. Because like, I'm sorry, that he is one of the snarkiest players in the league, and he's like 20, and he's like, he's
guys
just shrugging
messing
at
around
He's like,
with
what are you gonna do, bud? Like, what are you gonna do? I'm 6'3", and I'm
did you guys
come near me?
the first prospect game he was playing, it was against Kirby Doc and the Maryville, team of Blackhawks. Yeah, it was they started fighting. They were starting fights with each other. Or Cider started with him, and they were just they're fucking around with each other. They're both 6'3". They're both big dudes.
And I just love that each other because like I don't know if it's just like this young generation of players or not, but like I feel like when you see these young draft classes come up and stuff, it's very hard to see who's gonna have that competitiveness at the next level and have that drive to succeed at the next level. And like with Cider, we could maybe tell that he had like the tool set to be that, but I never thought he'd have this kind of swagger to his game. Like he's got a moxie when he's on the ice that just makes everyone around him better, and like that's the kind of player you want to build around. He's
just absolutely amazing. Like he's a great player. He has a great personality. Like I have his autograph back there because
that's it right there.
Authentic fan.
Yeah, I have two actually.
You're an authentic Mo Cider fan.
Yeah, like his dad messaged me on Instagram and was like, "I want those drawings. Those are great." And then Mo was like, "Yeah, I can sign them. Just send like 2 of each." And
Jay's got like everyone's hockey dad in her DMs, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have players in my DMs. I just have hockey dads in my DMs. Pretty funny though.
Oh yeah.
But he has a great personality. Do you know that video of him where he sings like "Shake Some Ass"? I died laughing.
Yeah, no, we know.
He's just such a gem. Yeah, I think he's good.
I just think he's neat.
I just think he's neat. Honestly.
Good for the team spirit, and he's a great player. And
Smitty, what do we talk about? If you can be arrogant if you're good enough to back it up. Like that's why Mo Cider doesn't get his ass beat.
If you want to be cocky, if you can back it up, be as cocky as you fucking want. I don't care.
Yeah, that's why he can go do that shit.
That's why I don't give a remote fuck what people say about Brad Marchand. Until Brad Marchand stops scoring at the rate he's scoring, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Honestly.
I will keep.
And I'm not like on the ice, strictly on the ice. I'm not.
I don't.
Dumb shit off the ice, but like you can be a prick on the ice. It doesn't matter. And like Cider's got that to him.
He could be worse. Marchand could be worse off the ice. Let's just say that.
Mo just doesn't give a fuck. He fought Crosby and Matthews in his rookie season.
In like a week. It was in a week.
Dude just wants to catch some bodies. He's got the points on the board. Let me get some bodies.
Shit. Listen, if I was a 20-year-old rookie and I got a chance to take a jab at Crosby, I think I'd take a jab at Crosby.
Dude, I love that he picks the big boys too. He's like, now today I'm gonna beat the shit out of Sidney Crosby. Okay.
Who's next on my hit list?
He knows.
No, he has like an app where it's like, it spins the wheel. He's like, Austin Matthews,
I woke
biggest
up
goal scorer in the league.
Today.
Literally
I
did.
He didn't fight Ovechkin, Jimmy.
Oh, God.
You're right.
I don't want to see him fight Ovechkin. I don't fear any man, but that man.
Remember when Ovechkin dropped Svechnikov?
I was gonna say I'm having PTSD to Svechnikov, man. Come on now.
Svechnikov got a rude welcome to the league.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass, and then just one hit drops him right away.
What did you learn?
I saw someone on Twitter say that they think the next Mo is gonna fight is gonna be Chara because.
Hey, I'm gonna kick your ass. No,
looking up at him, just like I got you.
It's funny that he's 6'4" and he's still looking up on Chara. That's how big of a human being
Seriously.
Chara is.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. Like the mental image of that is just freaking hilarious. But
Two
Mo is a
titans on
person.
Hey,
I think he's a sweetheart off the ice. Like he's a very nice and genuine person. But on the ice, I think he knows how to get under your skin and how to make you angry. I don't know.
The first moment he plays, first prospects game, man, little asshole. Like, right away, I'm like, okay, he's gonna be a pain in the ass to play against for a while, because we knew he was good. Like I know there was a widespread bashing of that pick, but I think most people that it sounds pretentious, but I feel like a lot of how I say it's more insightful fans, because you got the meatheads in every fan base. But people who have actually been watching it, who have kept up on prospects, knew he was a sleeper pick all the way. 6 was a bit high, but everyone with the brain knew this guy was going to be an asshole to play against for a long time, for more reasons than just pissing you off. Of course, we've seen how he can do that this season.
And what's crazy is if you told someone 3 years ago in that 2019 draft class he would be the best defenseman this year, I think everyone would have laughed. Because
to this extent,
that's nothing against Bo and Byram. Byram's been good. I know he's been having concussion issues. That just speaks to how great Sider's been.
Yeah. Byram could stay healthy, it'd be great, but it's just it's tough luck. But I mean, it just speaks to the volume of what Sider's doing in that first season. And I'm very Sider's the kind of player that teams want during playoff time. So if the Red Wings can get in those tight situations, I think Sider's gonna flourish.
I think he won. I think it was his German rookie season, first German league. And I think in that season, he won the title with them. I think they won the cup that year. And what I kind of want to see? I would love to see a playoff series between obviously a better Senators and better Wings with Stützle and Seider on the opposing team. Because
that's likely too. That's not unlikely in the next few years, man.
I would pay so much money to see those two going against each other 7 games in a row. That would be great. I don't know. That would be fun.
Oh yeah. The future of German hockey in the NHL is in very good hands right now. I mean, shit, you got Draisaitl, who just owns the league in point scoring right now. And then you got all this young talent that's just gonna start coming into the league. Like we said, Paterka and Reich aren't even there yet. It's gonna be.
I would hope that Cahoon can make a comeback at some point to some team, because the NHL crushed his spirits. That guy flew to the World Championships last year saying that he wants to go and play at the Worlds, even if it's just 2 games, because he feels like he has to prove he's not washed. At how old is he? 24, 25?
He's 25, and he's always going to be a depth role guy if he plays in the NHL, and he's better than he's better than most of your bottom 6 guys. So it's an example of the league just not being smart enough.
No, that's Edmonton ruining his confidence. And
that too, man.
That is Edmonton. If we haven't talked about Edmonton enough, that's about as Edmonton as it gets. You got a guy who had almost 35 points with the Blackhawks, did pretty well with the Penguins, goes to the Oilers. His career gets shot because you can't score 60 points at McDavid and Draisaitl, and then doesn't get re-signed.
But Evander Kane will be.
But they'll sign Kyle Turris. Don't worry, they'll sign Kyle fucking Turris.
Yeah, seriously.
I think
Because he's
he
been around the
wasn't.
league, guys.
I think he was in
knows.
Buffalo before he was traded to Edmonton.
Yeah, he got traded for Connor.
He played like 15 games or something. It was
I
incredible.
forgot he was in Buffalo.
And Buffalo wanted to keep, like, obviously not the management, but the fans loved him. And they were like, can we please keep this guy? And he was happy to play in Buffalo because Tobias Rieder was there as well, I think. 2 Germans again. Rieder, hometown hockey legend. Yeah. I just hope he can make a comeback. And then we have Sturm, who's great. We have Draisaitl. I hope Grubauer gets out of this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bad season. Just a bad year.
He was starting
There's
to turn it
nothing else to
around
say.
a little the last couple of weeks, but it's like he dug himself such a hole this season. Like nothing's gonna change the way those stats look, probably.
Yeah,
No.
he's ending the season with some ugly numbers, no matter what.
But hey, listen, not everyone like. At least that tells you that Vegas was the enigma. Like, no one's gonna do what Vegas did ever again. There's no way. Because like no one's gonna have a Hall of Fame goalie also to start the thing. So
Yeah.
like I kind of feel
What
bad.
team
for
could
Grubauer.
ruin a Fleury being on their team?
Okay.
Let me think.
Tough question.
What about the Blackhawks? How can we make it about the Blackhawks?
I'm not gonna lie, speaking of Fleury, my favorite pastime is telling Capitals fans they're trading a sloppy air for Mark Ronald.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I've pissed off that entire fan base now. Like, I don't care.
Please continue.
Video
Oh,
Please
don't
about
worry,
it
don't worry.
logged.
You only have to throw in a first-round pick as well.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I
it's-
literally do that every time. You're like, we need cap space. I'm like, oh, don't worry, send us like Carl Hagelin and fucking
Michael
Connor Shearer.
Kempney.
And a first round
Yeah.
pick, don't worry.
Oh my god, what was
And we
it?
got to bounce the goalies
Like,
out, send us Samsonov. Or
they're
Van-
like, and I'm like, here's a shiny Dominic Kubalik. And I was like, it's only going to cost you Connor McMichael.
Oh god.
the best
please,
Connor
man.
Mick in the league, I reckon.
If they find a way to get Lapierre or McMichael off that team, I will be through the roof.
I'd rather
If
trade
it's only
Washington than
for-
trade
I will-
Colorado. At
I
least
will-
Washington's got their first.
I will do shots on the live stream. Like, I'll chug a whole beer at once if they do.
Die for a good cause.
Pierce
Jeez.
is gonna be inebriated, just fuck up the show. If
Yeah.
he gets traded.
Oh, hold up. I don't think
Like
doing it
last
for the
year was
live
like
stream.
last
We
year.
need
Oh,
to,
yeah, we're
It's
doing
like,
another
Oh, they
one.
might trade Yanmark this year. It's like,
yeah.
they're
So
gonna trade
I
half
guess
the
this is kind of news in general. So we're gonna be having a live stream for the deadline,
March
second year in a row.
21st. Yeah.
There will be drinks and smoke involved.
Oh, smoke.
I'll
I'm
say.
just doing drinks.
Oh, that's you, man. That's all you.
Mhm.
Drinks and or smoke.
Wait, when is it?
March
March
21st.
21st.
My brother's birthday.
All off your work.
I might be done with exams by then. Like,
If
my
you are,
semester's
make it.
gonna be
Join.
over.
Join us.
Yeah.
And you won't have to stay out till 3 a.m. because the deadline's at like 3 p.m. usually. So
Yeah, no, you'll find time in the day. Trust me, that thing goes on forever and nothing happens. So
I like, that's another thing. In Germany, trading does not exist. There are no trades. So the trade deadline was something so surreal to me, like teams just throwing players at each other, and no one getting notified, like people finding out on social media they've been
well, that never happens in the NHL. No.
That didn't happen this summer to a certain Hall of
here's
Fame
the
goalie.
sad part though, like to
That's
touch on
insane,
that,
though.
that happens in every sport, unfortunately. And I feel like it's just because like how do I put this? I guess Frank Saravalli is like the perfect example, right? Because there's always going to be someone like him who's got got the scoop and wants to get those views and get
Yeah.
those clicks
Broke
and get
the
that
whole
money.
Seattle team.
I'm sorry, like I get it's his job, but man, read the freaking room. Holy crap!
This dude was literally just one by one smoking the entire Kraken pack. That was insane. Wasn't he tweeting them out one by one?
Yeah,
No.
and it's because he didn't. It's because he didn't get hired by ESPN. It was all out of spite. Like I know exactly why he did it.
I
Like
forgot
the
about
writing
that.
was on the fucking wall, but it's fine. Like power to him, but I don't know. I like Julia.
I love a good troll,
deadline
but
that's
holy
always
shit, dude.
hilarious is like nothing happens all day, and in the last like 15 minutes or the last hour, all hell breaks loose because the GMs remember they got to do something.
Oh
Yeah.
sure.
They're like, oh, trade deadline. Whoops. Forgot about that.
Like I promise you, last year, like, cause we were recording at the deadline last year at like 2:55. David Poyles passed the fuck out in his chair, and he's like, "Shit, we gotta make a move." And Eric Durant's for seventh.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you think the Bergevin situation was getting Eric Gustafson? You think he's just sitting on his couch with his wife?
They
Like,
needed that extra piece to make their Stanley Cup run.
oh, dude, just wait till someone gives. I swear to God, I won't forgive the GMs in the NHL if they fucking somehow give Montreal 2 first-round picks for Ben Sherratt and Arturi Lehkonen. I will never forgive this.
When he goes
and
to
it's
Toronto?
gonna be from the Leafs.
God, Habs fans being like, I wouldn't give up Lehkonen unless it's a first and a prospect because he's just such an important part of the team with those expected goals.
Expected by who?
And by who exactly?
I'm sorry, Arturi Lehkonen is just the biggest
Are you
enigma in the
expecting
league
some
because he's
pitches?
like Lehkonen shoots like 3%, bro, and he's just adored because he plays defense. It's insane.
Hey, and he scored the goal that sent him to the Stanley Cup final.
Wasn't that like his only goal the entire fucking playoffs?
Probably.
Like,
He's got the Darren Helma. He's got the Darren Helma medal.
Darren
now for
Helm
that.
type.
Yeah, he's got that award. Forever scored a goal to send you to the finals. He's gonna be on everybody's little
Hey,
hockey
can't forget
motivational video.
Kevin Bieksa and
We
Dustin
can forget
Penner
about that.
and
Dustin Penner.
I'm just trying to and
The
Alec
last
Mar-
offer sheet, Dustin
Penner smells. We don't need to talk about Dustin Penner. I had to deal with that guy for 4 years. I'm
Wait, Jimmy,
Won a
elaborate.
Stanley Cup.
What did he do?
Think about that. Think about
won
that.
2 Stanley
Dustin
Cups.
Penner's a Stanley Cup champion.
And I'm not. I can't say anything.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
actually
actually think I think he won one with Anaheim too, so I think he has 3 actually.
Oh, he does have 3. Yeah.
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 Patrick Kane.
Speaking of
Oh,
one
Pat Maroon,
goal-
except he didn't do 3 in a row. No
of
one
one goal per like playoff series or season, do you think Calvin DeHaan is gonna score another one this year?
That's the best question. Hey.
That's the hard-hitting question.
I say Calvin DeHaan
I
is
say
for
he
his one goal a
doesn't.
season.
No.
Yeah,
Listen,
I say he
he's-
doesn't.
For every goal he scores, it's a first-round pick. So at least one. Just I think
How
we're
about
gonna
this?
stay.
Calvin
at
DeHaan
one.
scores another goal, I'll donate like $50 to some charity.
Oh.
It's like I promise you that Jaywalker's never
Black
scored
girl
again.
hockey.
Update: Dustin Penner has 2
Girl.
cups: 2007 with Anaheim and 2012 with LA. He didn't even win on the
Damn it!
14 team. Damn it!
Yeah, because Marion Gabrick was on that team. Come on, guys.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Noted like.
Oh
15
yeah.
goal
I think he
scorer.
was. I think he was
cracked
a.
out of his mind for 2 seasons and then just fell off the face of the earth.
That's all. he
Yeah,
needed
that
to
was
do.
fantastic.
Oh,
He got like an 8-year deal out of it too.
what a guy! Like, and then he got a cup.
Yeah, with
Mhm.
LA and Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
He
I'm
was
talking about
washed
the Lightning.
up on-
I'm talking about the Lightning. Fuck the fucking.
I love how Julia's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
hockey,
I don't
yeah.
know what you're talking about. Sometimes I'm just so lost. Like in the group chat as well, sometimes you drop names and I can't even tell if it's hockey related, like if the name is from hockey, if it's from the NFL, I have no idea. I'm so lost sometimes, but
Julia's literally that meme of like when Star Wars fans see something new and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Club Shido." That's literally I fucking promise you. I fucking promise you. Oh Jesus! Since that
I
meme's
just-
definitely making a comeback today.
I
Some of the funniest fucking things I've heard this year. Oh my god.
Podcast name's definitely Club Shido, by the way.
I was gonna say Mo Burrow, but that's
Mo Burrow. I like
No, that's
dude. Are we not talking about how he's this cocky young blonde guy
Snyder
that's,
really is Joe
that
Burrow.
backs it up? Come on.
always got
Actually, if we're being honest, the real Joe Burrow of the league's Austin Matthews, but he's
But yeah, dude. No,
But
it's
Austin Matthews doesn't
Yeah.
spread socialist propaganda around, so we
But
can't
Austin
put him on that
Matthews can't
level
win
yet.
playoff games. I'm like Joe Burrow.
there's Joe Burrow.
that's another guy I found out about like through the group chat. I did not know who Joe Burrow was.
No, you'll never know.
Ah, definitely
No.
not me. Am I right, fellas?
Now he's all over my social media, like Instagram, whatever. He's everywhere. I can't escape him,
Good.
but I guess good for him. Like
He's an American hero.
I've read up
American
on his
Sniper,
story,
baby.
and I think I want to win. Like I want him to win the Super Bowl, but I don't know.
You do.
who the
That's
Cincinnati,
Stafford's a
only
dork.
Joe
No.
Burrow gets to touch the
Mm-mm.
Super Bowl.
Matt Stafford needs to be put down a peg. Dude got past 2 rounds, and now he thinks he's actually something. No, you were from Detroit. You got Detroit in you, buddy. You get to lose this time.
Joe Burrow is just like one of the best feel-good stories in the NFL right now, Julia. That's why everyone's on his side. Because like the guy had like a very bad like torn ACL like a year ago. Like the Super Bowl is 5
in his
days
rookie
away from
season.
where he had his knee surgery. Like it's some fucking crazy storytelling.
I saw that
The
on
NFL
like
script writers are going off right now.
I think I saw some kind of video today, either Instagram or TikTok, I don't remember. And it was like he was playing backup quarterback in college for like 3 years and then switched to Louisiana, I think, and won whatever that trophy is called.
Oh
I have no idea. Please don't roast me.
Oh no, you're good. Julia, so like on top of going to LSU, he broke every single passing record in college that season. That's why it's such a big deal. Like he had 60 touchdowns in 14 games, which is goofy. Won the national championship convincingly, like beat every team by like 35 plus. And then was drafted first overall, was like doing pretty good. Then towards me.
When the Bengals like lost in the league too?
Yeah, they were dead last in the league when they got Burrow. And then they were, I think, 5th last year after he got hurt. And it's like, it's one of the craziest like season to season turnarounds we've ever seen. Because like the Niners did this too a couple years ago. They went like 2-14 to 14-2, but everyone was hurt on that team the year before. So it kind of like the talent was already there. But this one, it's like, this is a quarterback willing a mediocre at best roster to where they are. And like, obviously it's a team sport and everyone's doing their job and like the defense is great, but
they clamped it down last game too.
Man, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times and they still found a way to win that game. Like it's insane.
Eli Apple, no.
Because like at least the quarterbacks I've noticed in like the past, like once they get sacked and get knocked on their ass a lot, their internal clock gets sped up and they start missing throws and shit. If anything, when this dude starts getting hit, the clock slows down for him. Like he like, you know, like the saying where it's or what's the thing where everyone talks about like Gretzky saw the game so slow and stuff. Like it was basically
the best players slow it down and simplify.
That's kind of how it is for Burrow right now, and it's a special thing to watch.
Yeah. That right now, and I literally I have no idea about the NFL. Other than like drawing that one Packers drawing for my friend. But by the way, Packers, aren't they like a bit like the Leafs? Everyone expects a lot of them and they do not.
That is the best fucking comparison I've heard all day. Thank you. Yes, the Packers are the Leafs because they don't win shit in the playoffs.
No. Exactly. Okay, Pierce, I like this now. Pierce, at first I was like a little bothered by that, and then you said that. It feels a lot better. I won't lie.
That's okay. Like I always have to draw some kind of comparison to make it make sense.
How can we make this about the Leafs? Oh yes.
Oh no, it literally is. No, it's always how can we make it about the Packers? Trust me. It was fantastic. I had a conversation because I was at a bar a couple of weeks ago, and it was during the Packers 49ers game. You know, but there was some coworkers, and I was talking to some Packers fans, and I was like, you guys know that, like, everyone knows that you guys get calls at Lambeau Field, right? And they're like, oh, no, the league has it out for us. And I'm like, you guys are the worst. You guys are the fucking
There are Packers fans in Chicago?
Oh, trust me, those
Stop
are the worst.
it. Don't talk about it, okay? We don't talk about it.
You know what that's called? You know what that's called, Julia? That's called being a lazy human being when you were a child. Because that means you grew up and you were like, I don't like this team. I'm going to go bandwagon the good team. Because I promise you that's what it is. Because, you know, they've had a fucking god-tier quarterback play for the last 30 years and have, like, one ring to show for it. It looks good on you. But, yeah, I can't stand the Packers. Like, they're so annoying. Their fan base is annoying. That's why I laugh in their demise every time.
Heads.
I don't care.
Okay,
by the way, Dylan.
Heads.
I have to say, here in Germany, like, the NFL is kind of big, and every guy I meet is a Seahawks fan.
Really?
Every German
Russell Wilson,
person
baby, he's the truth.
Is a Seahawks fan.
Shout out to Brian.
Oh.
Brian's a huge Seahawks fan. Holy shit.
Okay, maybe Seahawks or Patriots. They are like obviously.
Okay, that makes sense though, honestly, because
Oh, of course.
like I'm trying to think like I don't know how like you said I don't know how popular football is in Germany, but those were like the two biggest teams over the last decade, so I can kind
Yeah.
of see how that gravitates.
That's
Like
I mean, the NFL is definitely bigger than the NHL over here. I remember
It is everywhere except
we
for
had
Canada.
it's
we had like a week of presentations in German class, and we had to read like books for that. And everyone had to read one book and do a big ass presentation, basically analyzing the whole book. It was an hour presentation for each person. And all the guys were watching football. No one had their presentations ready. And I remember doing the presentation for my best friend who watched the Super Bowl that night, had 1 hour of sleep, and did the presentation and looked at my notes, looked at me and was like, I have no idea what you wrote there. Like, that's the situation.
I didn't
But
even
yeah,
think about how bad the Super Bowl's got to be down or up or over there, because like gotta stay up till like 6 a.m. or something.
Oh,
Or just wake up
It's-
very, very early.
Yeah,
It's
that's
these
it.
huge ass parties. Like usually they start like I mean if it's at night, it's the evening before. They get together, order pizza or cook something. They have like this whole American themed party. Everyone in
hey
their
guys,
jerseys.
we're putting
And-
corn syrup in our food tonight. Let's go.
They usually-
That's
Yeah, stay up until it's done and then they go straight to school.
That's
That's
awesome.
what happens. But
Can you
same
imagine,
thing
Dylan?
with hockey, actually, like every hockey fan you meet is a Bruins fan. I hate that. I don't like the Bruins. I'm sorry.
Stop.
Uh,
Hold up. No,
You
we
think
don't
that's
need
'cause of
Germany
Seidenberg?
anymore. Okay,
You think that's
okay.
because of Seidenberg when he played? in Boston?
100%. 100%.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
No, he won it. Do you know who Dennis Seidenberg is?
Yeah, I just didn't hear Schmitty like very well, so I didn't know what he was saying.
My bad.
Oh yeah. No, so
I was saying it's probably because of
Seidenberg.
Seidenberg when he was in Boston, but
Yeah,
He played there for a while. Yeah.
of course. I mean, there are Bruins fans, obviously Oilers fans for Draisaitl, but they are
Yeah.
basically only there for
Yeah.
Draisaitl.
it's like
And if you
LeBron
sup-
fans that follow whatever team he's on for LeBron.
Yeah. But then when you talk to them
LeBron of Germany.
and they're like, "Oh, you're a Blackhawks fan, so you're a bandwagon, right?" And I'm like, "I joined."
you joined at the worst possible time. Like,
Literally,
No.
You and my friend Hakeem joined to be Blackhawks fans at quite possibly the worst time. Like
Hakeem and Julia need to have a talk, Dylan.
God,
Like they could have a lot. They could. Oh man.
Oh, it's tough.
Oh,
hey,
man.
but like no one could question your loyalty. So like
No.
you're watching a terrible hockey product for the last 5 years. 4 years.
Yeah,
or
but like every guy I've ever talked to about hockey was like, "Oh, so you're a bandwagon because they once won 3 Stanley Cups in the tens," and I was like, "No, I joined quite literally at the worst time you could join."
Yeah, it's
No.
genuinely one of the worst times in Blackhawks like history that you could have joined.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you literally just witnessed, and not just the hockey, you witnessed the worst start in NHL history ever. They are 9 years.
And that's just the on ice stuff.
They're
yeah, let's not
stop.
even get to what's going on off the ice.
It's 9 years. 9 years removed. 9 years removed only from them having the best start in NHL history. That's how kooky this franchise is.
That's the NHL in a nutshell, though.
I mean, I much rather watch a Detroit game. If like for a Blackhawks fan, that's
Yeah.
probably a bit, but
Listen,
I
no, no, no.
love-
Let's just.
Means you're a hockey
More
fan.
talent.
Means you're a hockey fan.
Yeah.
You're a good hockey fan. You know good hockey when you see it. We always
Yeah.
say it. We're hockey fans first, Blackhawks fans second.
It's like you get. It's almost like you've just been like locked in a dungeon watching bad hockey when you watch a team that like once you watch a team that's not the Blackhawks this season, it's like you just got like you open Pandora's box. It's like holy shit, Team Skate. They actually do that still? They can score more than 3 goals a game.
Teams can do stuff without draw passing. Why?
Bro, like I watched like Colorado Boston last week, and I was just like, yeah, this is what 2 good teams look like. I'm never gonna see this again.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That was like watching
feel
Vegas, Colorado last year. Like, holy shit, these guys are on another level.
I feel a bit bad for saying that, but if I want to watch mediocre hockey, I'm gonna watch my hometown hockey team. They are in the 2nd league, and I support them. I love them, but the hockey they play is obviously not as great as NHL level hockey. But in the NHL, I'm stuck with the freaking Blackhawks.
Who would want to watch the Blackhawks in 2022? I just don't understand.
Jimmy and I have been the 2 games in the last 2 weeks. Definitely not us.
No, and I'm going again tonight, and it's gonna be. No, Dylan. My dad gave me free tickets tonight. It's gonna be wonderful.
Oh, you're going tonight?
I'm gonna watch Kaprizov murder my team again.
Like married to watching this team get their ass kicked by Kaprizov. Oh my god.
I know, man.
No. Nico Sturm's gonna score a hat trick.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Nico Sturm will have tonight. Okay. Yeah.
Let's get 4 Nico Sturm goals. Fuck it. Joe
No, Dylan, we already got Nico Sturm goal
Austin
last
Matthews.
week, okay? We got Nico Sturm goal last week. I don't need that again, okay?
Nah, you're getting a Ryan Hartman hat trick, and you're gonna like it,
What?
buddy.
Stop it. You got way too much dip in your chip, buddy.
I'm kind of like tired of the Blackhawks playing against Minnesota. I don't want to see them play Minnesota anymore.
That was like Colorado. I'm like, just get this game over with. I'm done.
So we never have to
Come
play
on.
him
Don't.
again.
Yeah,
No,
Seriously.
just get it over
don't
with.
get me started on them.
Oh,
I mean,
No, it's the best
Minnesota-
part because no matter how many times they beat us, I'll never be bothered by shit talking. Like the Hawks have bragging rights. Until the Minnesota Wild win anything, even if they win something, there's no bragging rights there. So I'm like,
2013 through 2015.
getting murdered by
say,
them.
listen,
You
Getting
won
murdered
3
by them.
games against us in 3 years.
There's a reason Blackhawk fans don't like argue with Blues fans and Predators fans
That's
as
like-
much. It's literally Wild fans because they haven't won a goddamn thing and they think they've done something. Like,
Yeah, at least Blues fans can be like, okay, you won a cup and you beat us in 2016, so
like
I'll give
Listen,
you
yeah,
that.
is-
cool, whatever. Like, no one
As
cares.
dumb as just fan bases, as dumb as fandom can be in sports, I'm never gonna let go of mocking the Wild. Like making fun of the Minnesota Wild is
They
a
are the
beautiful
little
pastime.
brother.
They are the little brother of the division. You know, like it's
Because they
so
haven't done
funny.
anything.
It's so
Dude, the
funny.
fucking Coyotes have made it farther in the playoffs in the last decade than the Wild. Think about that for 5
The
seconds.
Minnesota Wild have never won a game beyond the second round.
Yeah, they got swept in the conference final the one time, right?
Yeah,
By
because-
J.S. Jaguar himself, just J.S. Jaguar. Just him. They
Now I
got swept by a
shut up
goalie.
that. Was it like 3 goals in 4 games or something? Like
I think
the
it was
Hawks?
1 goal in 4
Yeah.
games.
That's even worse. Holy shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think he had 3 straight
Stop.
shutouts, and then he let like in a goal in like the final minute of Game 4.
How the
it was
team-
4 straight shutout. Like J.S. Jaguar was ridiculous that run.
Scoring 3 goals or less in a playoff series must be insane. I'm so glad the Hawks
It
don't
must be
have
really
that.
bad for the team that does that, right? Like, I can't imagine if your favorite team only scored 3 goals in a playoff series. Like,
Surely they
God,
wouldn't.
that must suck,
Oh, no.
guys.
Surely they wouldn't trade their
Yeah.
superstar player for Brandon Saul.
Oh, they wouldn't.
Wait a minute,
overrate
Julian.
it.
Wait a
They just run it out
minute.
of the group. I mean, they got 50 wins the year before. It's definitely not a fluke. Like,
I can't believe Julia doesn't understand what's going
that
on
moment
here.
took years
Julia,
off my life. I
Julia, all I'm saying is that you did come in at a pretty bad time. You could have started a couple years worse, is all I'm saying.
Now, if you started in 2017,
Much worse.
that,
The thing I appreciate about Julia is that she's watched and she has not looked back into any of the trauma from the past 2 years, because there's absolutely no reason to go back 2 years from the year she started. If you want
really have see
to,
the
go
team play
ahead.
good hockey. Shit. Like, this team used to won. Now they're not. It's just like,
Yeah, I don't even remember how I got into NHL hockey. I knew I liked hockey when I watched I think it was the Worlds 2017 because they were just randomly on TV. Absolutely loved the game. Then I like for 2 years I kind of tried to watch hockey. I watched the Olympics during which I found out my dad was a hockey player before I was born. Didn't know that. Now
Julia, I
we-
have something to tell you. Oh, the hockey.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
I was watching I was watching hockey in the living room when he came home from work, and he was like, "Why are you watching hockey?" I was like, "Well, this sport is kind of fun." And he's like, "It's not fun for me." And I was like, "What?" And he didn't watch hockey for an extremely long time because he got injured so bad he couldn't play anymore. And he missed it so much that he didn't want to watch it. But now he's kind of over it, and we watch it together, and it's pretty fun.
Aw, that's wholesome.
But I really don't know how I got to the Blackhawks, except that when I saw they had Dominic Cahoon on their roster, I was like, that's my team. I'm going to pick them. Leon
God damn
Draisaitl
it.
was right there. I was like, no, Cahoon.
What? The Oilers
Are you
are
saying that it would be any better? Because I don't know about that. I don't
No.
know.
I mean, I like the
Oh.
Oilers. Well, I don't like the Oilers. I like Draisaitl, and I want to see him and McDavid succeed because McDavid is fucking, like, his career is going to waste there in Edmonton.
Going to waste.
Not going to in New York, but you know.
Sim
no.
9.7.
Yeah.
9.7, baby. Oh, jeez.
This means nothing to literally anybody besides us.
Yeah. Our niche.
Sim 9.7, and we all start, and then they laugh.
No. Okay, it's time for the laugh now. It's like the live audience.
Please
It like
clap.
shows up on the screen. It's like
Sim 9.7.
laughter.
Laughter. Wait. Speaking of laughter, Pierce, didn't Sam Lafferty bring the cup back to your town?
No, that would be Carter Rowney, who plays on the Red.
Carter Rowney, I knew it was one of those like.
Yeah, he
Carter
plays-
Rowney and Sam Lafferty are the same player, just two.
Yeah,
All
there
dudes that
are
play
Mark
right-handed.
Dawson and
Fonts.
Flebits.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Mark Talks.
Carter Rowney.
Yes.
The only good thing coming out of the Penguins winning back-to-back cups was in 2017. Carter Rowney brought the Stanley Cup outside of Grand Prix, Alberta, and I got to see that. That's the closest I've ever been to the Stanley Cup, and probably.
I think hometown hockey like stories are such feel-good stories. That's another thing I absolutely love because on the Olympic roster we have 4 players from my hometown hockey team and 2 players who grew up as learning how to play hockey in that, like, on that team, in that organization. And it's just amazing to see 6 players on our Olympic team are from where I live. And actually, that city has the best development system in the, like, probably in Germany. They have won so many awards because they know how to develop players, but they don't have any money. And that's the big problem
What?
here.
Okay.
That all
It's not your
their
fault. It's
talent,
not your fault.
all their young players just go to the first league, obviously, because they deserve to be there. But my hometown hockey team can't afford to pay the fees for the first league. And by losing all the players, they obviously lose the talent and like fall down in the ranking of the second league. It's such a vicious circle. They can't get out of that. And because of like new regulations, they now had to build a new arena, which cost them about like 6 million, I think. Like they had to renovate it. It wasn't a completely new one. They didn't have the 6 million. So actually, I think the government was like, this city is so important to hockey. We gonna give them the money because otherwise they'll be ruined. And it's like,
that's such a like paradox to be in. It's like you need talent to be good to get revenue to, you know, pay the fees, but at the same time, if the players just leave, it's like that's just like a never-ending cycle. What the hell?
Yeah,
like,
it just sucks. My favorite player on that team was Alexander Ehl. I think he's even shorter than the Brinkhead, and he's a forward too. He's amazing. His name is Alex as well. And he moved to Düsseldorf, and everyone was like, oh, he's from that tiny ass village in Bavaria. What is he going to do? And now they absolutely loved him.
Oh,
gave
that
him a
Bavarian. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, that's the thing though, because usually the good players come from Berlin or from Mannheim. Like Seider and Stützle were from Mannheim. Lucas is coming out of Berlin, obviously. But Lucas is from Bavaria. He learned how to play hockey in Bavaria. And everyone's always like, oh, the big cities produce the big players. but it actually all starts in our like tiny ass cities that don't have any money. And that's kind of the problem in German hockey, I think. And that's why they introduced a star system. So I don't know how to properly explain it, but if you have a good development, like for players, if you're a good organization for development and have certain standards, you get stars. And with each star, you get more money from the state, like from the government. And we actually have the most stars we can get. It's the most stars out of any team, I think. So at least we have that. But money, I think money is really holding back German hockey.
It is for a lot of countries over the world. Like money, it's not just like even in Canada, like it's so hard to put like 10 years ago, like it would be fine, like it would be like hard to get into hockey just because there's so many people, but now it's hard to get into hockey because of the money. Like it's the only reason why we still have players, if you're like a rich family, or we're seeing a lot of like former NHL players like having children and then them going in it. Like it's not just a Germany problem where like they're having money problem. Like it's all across the world, and that's why hockey is like such a hard sport to grow, because it's so freaking expensive to get into. Like
That's
basketball,
true.
It's always going to be a secondary sport.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a secondary sport just because of how much stuff you need to buy to actually play the sport.
That's
It's not
why-
like soccer where you can just pick up a
soccer,
ball.
all you need is a ball, really, because like I remember
All you need is a ball. That's all you need.
use your sweaters or jackets as like a net, and then you can judge how high it goes if to count for a goal.
Like hockey, at bare minimum, you need a stick and a puck, and like
Yeah.
the stick itself sometimes is going to cost you like. What's the cheapest thing you've ever bought in your life? It's like,
No, it certainly wasn't under $100, I don't think.
definitely,
And that's for a good one though. Like you can get cheap ones for under 100, but like if you want a good one, it's at least $100. And that was like closer to 10 years ago now when I played hockey.
It's just a systemic problem with the sport, and I don't really know how you could. Obviously, with like organizations, there's obviously some sort of solution. Like someone's gonna have a business plan to figure it out, but like in terms like it's gonna become a problem over the next decade or two. That like there's just not gonna be enough people playing the sport.
Yeah, there's gonna be a stagnation, I bet. Like,
Yeah.
thank God we have like Shane Ryan and Connor Bedard coming, but like, ugh.
Like obviously the best are gonna show up. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's gonna be
the talented players will always find a way. But
Yeah, I still got
exactly
time.
cares, but it's just like
Conroy certified.
it's not gonna be a sport.
Yeah,
where
sorry, by the way, guys, my
about a
camera
trade
is
type thing.
out,
You're good.
so,
You're good.
yeah.
But
It's not like-
there's also the problem of like arenas and having a team. My dad wanted my brother to get into hockey, and then he was like, well, we would have to drive over an hour every day for practice, just go there and then an hour back. And I mean, for American standards, it's probably not that much, but in Germany, an hour is incredible. You just don't do it. So that's another thing. Like the ways are extremely long. The gear is incredibly expensive.
You
And
don't say.
Oh yeah, the
You
travel to we didn't even bring that up. Well, I'd like my parents,
Travel's insane.
God bless them, they would like drive me like sometimes 2 to 3 hours to get to games. I don't know how they put up with that, but they did.
Dude, my brother was in hockey, and my brother got pretty far down the line when he was in his development and stuff, and like he almost went to like a camp, and he used to go to like camps in Texas and shit and all that, and like that's just not cheap, man. Like if you want to give your kid the best opportunity to succeed, you're gonna be shelling out like thousands of dollars, and that's just an
That's the bare
understatement.
minimum.
Like it's not like for instance, when I played football, like if you wanted to be in the best of the best, it's like, okay, you pay like $150 to be Pop Warner or whatever, and you pay whatever, like you basically pay like $250 and you're good. Hockey, you probably minimum have to drop.
That's $150 for a good stick. Like
Literally, like get
150. No, these are 300. No, it's
Dude,
like you
like,
want the top line
I'm
stick.
talking
It's up to
used.
400 now.
I'm talking
Yeah.
used. Like I'm not even talking about brand
Oh,
new stuff.
oh
I'm
no.
talking
yeah.
about like let's say like I wanted to start playing the sport. You got to shell out so much fucking money, man. And like Julie said with the organizations, it's like shit. Where are they gonna get the money if there's no fans at the games and they don't have a talent to bring in the fans? It's just it is a
Yeah.
never-ending
Yeah.
cycle.
the biggest I think with the fans, it's not as much as a problem because the attendance rate in my hometown hockey arena is pretty high. There are the hardcore fans, and there are
That's
always people there who enjoy watching hockey. But the big problem is money from TV. There is
yeah.
no streams. In Germany I can't even watch the first league. I can't, because Telekom, like the cable company, monopolized hockey, and they put it together in a pack with like handball, basketball, and other stuff. And I would have to pay $30 a month just to watch hockey. I can't afford it. I'm a student. I'm not gonna do it. And then the second league, I don't know if you have AHL games on TV sometimes.
I think you can buy
so
it,
rare.
but like you gotta like go out of your way to do it. You're like you're not gonna find it on
like I'm
cable
in
or just
Chicago,
whatever.
and let's put it this way: if I wanted to go like watch an Ice Hawks game on TV, I'd either have to find a stream, which like sometimes they have the free streams. I know Wally's pretty good at finding those, but like they want you to buy a separate package for the AHL, and it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like now everyone can do that.
Here it's, you can watch I think they made it better like when COVID hit, because they needed the money from the tickets wasn't there anymore. And they kind of tried to improve the stream, but the stream is incredibly bad. It's like just pixels, you can't see anything. Internet connection in Germany is the worst in the entire world. I think we have worse internet than people in Russia in the middle of nowhere do. Okay, and we pay so much money for internet. I think it's like $80 a month for internet.
That's what we pay here in Canada. Like I think Canada has like the highest like internet stuff, like cell phone stuff in the world. So
yeah, here you don't get anything for your money. You just don't get anything. It's so bad. And then I would have to pay, I think it would be $10 or $12 per game. Well, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. I love
game.
that team.
And it's not like you're not a fan. It's like you want to. It's just it's such a financial obligation. It's like
it's just not worth it. Like if the stream lags and if it just breaks down after 10 minutes, you won't get your money back, but you won't get a stream either. So you're just sitting there like, what frick am I supposed to do? And I wouldn't be mad. Like the tickets were pretty cheap. Like they were 25 euros for every game. So that's not a lot of money for a live game. And I wouldn't be mad if they just raised that, like the ticket prices, and make the streams a bit more like a bit cheaper. Because with live hockey, you know what you're going to get. With a stream, it's always like
hit or miss.
At least you're there at a hockey game, like stream, like internet, all that stuff, like connection.
Exactly. And I don't know how like concessions are there and whatnot, because like if the tickets are cheap, I'm assuming like to get a beer there, it's going to be a good amount. But like
no,
that's good.
No, it's actually fine. You don't have to pay. I think it's like $4.
Oh, that's not bad at all. No.
It's like
at the same time though, it's like shit, they're not making money, and then you look at what they're selling and it's like, yeah, it's a good deal for the fan, but like if you're going to keep losing players, you're not making revenue and profit. I feel like this is like, I don't know if it's like on the same subject, but like how like everyone gets so butthurt over the NHL putting like logos on their helmets and shit. I'm like, guys, it's either that or we don't get
I remember when they did that last year, and it was such a big deal. And like by the end, I didn't even care at all. Like by the end of the year, I completely forgot they even did that in the first place. Who cares?
No, I had a full-blown fight with someone on Twitter because that guy, I'm pretty sure he was from Northern America. Like, I don't know if it was Canada or the US, I don't know. But he was like, well, you Germans can suck it with your ugly ass jerseys, with your ugly ass ads.
We got that ignorance.
You're so like, why do you have the ads? That's so embarrassing. And I'm like, German hockey would not exist without advertising. It would not exist. I mean, the jerseys aren't pretty. People still buy them. they still stand with their team, throw on the jersey, even if there's ads on it. No one cares. It's what keeps the sport alive. We wouldn't have. I'm sorry, that gets me so angry.
I'm with you, Julia. It grinds my gears. It's like these people, like, they always talk about the financial side and the business side, right? Everyone always talks about, I like to talk about the salary cap and shit. You don't want to talk about what actually keeps this league running, which is ticket sales and money. And if
why isn't hockey a more popular and accessible sport? Why are they putting advertisements on my jerseys?
It's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, dumbass. Jesus. Like, the league is already the bottom of the major leagues, first of all. Like, it's the bottom of the barrel. Like it's, dude, they're about to have an NHL team playing a 5,000 seat arena. Like, it is.
I forgot about that.
That's actually
clown show,
Mickey
bro.
Mouse.
Such a fucking
Mickey
clown show.
Mouse.
my hometown hockey team has an arena capacity of roughly 5,000 people. That's a second league team.
It's a secondary German team. Like, fuck. Like, I made a joke with my friend last night. They were like, all right, we're gonna trade fucking Chikrin to the Hawks, but the Hawks are to give them the rights to play at Rockford for the rest of the year. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I oh my God. And don't worry, like we talk about, like, oh, the fans are so ignorant and, like, they don't open to change or anything. Don't worry, the front office, like, the higher ups are too. Because Gary Bettman isn't backing down from moving the team out of Arizona. Because I've been saying it for years. I tell Pierce this. I think I've probably said it in the chat too. Houston is like the third biggest market in the world, and they won't put it there. Like, the Houston Texans fucking reek, and they still sell out. The Houston Rockets reek, and they still sell tickets. It's like, if for a league that needs money, it is beyond me how they go through hoops just to fucking not make money. It's crazy. And that goes for every league. Like, fuck the German leagues, like you just said.
Money just fucks everything. And now with COVID, like, so many sponsors
That's
had
a great way to put it.
pull out. Like, they had to drop it because, especially in the second league, the teams are usually sponsored by locals. Like, my team is literally sponsored by a dentist, okay?
Oh
like, just a dentist.
Whatever makes money.
That's
It's
so
like,
freaking cool,
who
though.
pays the bills?
My team's sponsored by a dentist.
But some
Hey, that
of them,
dentist has got to be pretty cool whenever someone gets their teeth clean.
yeah, I mean, he does all the players, like,
That's pretty cool.
repairs and stuff like that. If they have a
Took a puck to the face. Send him to the sponsor.
Yeah, that's what it is.
A word from our sponsors.
Oh my God. It's just an ad of, like, an NHL player getting their teeth fixed. Or a German player, sorry.
Another question. Do you like, before the game, do you have ads on the Jumbotron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
They
Because
show
we do too.
everything. Like, everything's sponsored. Like, I know, like, people make the joke about, like, Blackhawks broadcasts, how, like, everything is sponsored by something.
You know what
Chevy.
was funny? The McNugget minute.
Yes, the McNugget minute, or like the
Dude, that's
Final
what you gotta
Five presented
do.
by
You
Rocket
gotta-
Mortgage or some shit.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta embrace it, man. Like McNugget minute. Hell yeah.
Babe,
That's
you
pretty
barely
cool.
touched your nuggets during the McNugget minute. What happened? Oh,
I love that.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, we need the ads. I'm not mad about it. I mean, the jerseys are not that pretty, but I don't really care about it. I'll
Does it
still
change
buy
the on
it.
ice product? No. It's a
No.
jersey.
No,
It's
it
an
doesn't.
aesthetic. It's literally an aesthetic at the end of
Yeah.
the day. And, like, that's the problem with the sport. People are so, like, I guess it's like baseball in a way, where they're so traditionalist
Yeah.
that they just can't be open to
So
the, like, idea
conservative.
of change.
Like no, yeah.
And, like, look at the NBA and the NFL, which are two of the more innovative leagues around the world. And I would say probably, what's the other league I was going to say? Probably like Premier League too. Like, they're at the top of their line, and guess what? There's fucking ads everywhere, bitch.
Yeah.
All over the court, all over the, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like,
They need it.
people
But
actually lose sleep over that shit.
But
That's the
Schmitty,
sad part.
it ruins my jersey though.
But no, I'm gonna have a fucking Rocket Mortgage logo on my Matthews jersey. Whatever will I do? Maybe I'll just go buy another Matthews jersey without the fucking ad on it.
Or yeah,
It's
keep
not the end of the
keep the
world.
ones that you had before. Like
God, it's not like they act like you can't buy old jerseys without it. Like,
Yeah.
Man.
You
it
know
just
what that reminds me of?
drives me up a wall.
They say less people buy the jerseys. That just reminds me of the German national team, which is not allowed to sell their jerseys with the eagle crest on it. The crest is nowhere to be found on jerseys you buy. I don't know, there was like a story with a lawsuit or something, the national team doesn't have the rights to put the crest on their jerseys. Like for the team, they can't sell it.
That's wild.
That's
Is that
wild.
like
Yeah.
something that the German government said? Like they just don't allow it, or is it like
No, there was. I looked it up a couple of months ago. I talked to Ro about it. I don't really remember what the story was, but there was a lawsuit of like, I think a guy sold. I don't know if it's completely right. Bear with me, but I think a guy sold jerseys with the crest on it, and then the government obviously put out the jerseys for the national team, and the guy sued the government because he did it first. And now I think Germany isn't allowed to put the crest on the jerseys, but they still sell.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Germany's uniforms always look good. First of all, like that's never an issue.
It's like colors
it's
are
usually them
cool.
in Sweden that are at the top with the uniforms. Like
Because they keep it the same. That's
exactly.
Oh,
like if
but-
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But I have to say, for this year, I don't know if it's gonna be the Olympics jersey. I don't know, but it was for the German Cup. So I think it was the world thirds was then suddenly the first for the German Cup. Those are red. I didn't like it because you couldn't read the numbers. It was red and black.
I like the black ones jerseys the best.
Yeah.
Those are so
Yeah,
sick.
me
The
too.
German ones.
But it was like, you know how they are like black up here and then white or yellow down there.
Mhm.
And it's red instead of yellow.
Ugh.
Didn't like it.
Canada. The heck?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But I mean the white and the golden ones, because it's gold, not yellow.
Oh man.
They're pretty nice. I like them.
Oh yeah. And what's funny about the jersey thing is like, like basically if that's the true, like you said, someone just like basically suing the country for like because they did their own jerseys. That's like, for me, that's like peak NFT logic for some
Yeah.
reason. Like, oh, I own this, so you have to pay me money. It's like fuck you, I'll just take it. And it's like the reason that the Kraken are the Kraken because someone has the rights to the Metropolitans name because they bought it in like the 70s. And they're like, I'm not going to sell it to you. Fuck you.
Kraken's better anyway, so
Yeah, I like Metropolitans historically, but like it's fine. It's just like that logic just blows my mind. Like this dude really thought he was gonna win in the lawsuit for the fucking country. God, some cojones on that dude.
I will look it up again and send it to the group chat if I can
Please
finally
do.
make sense of this. But because Ro wanted I think he wanted a cider jersey. And I looked it up for him where he could get it because it should be an original, right? So I went to the official shop, tried to find a button where it makes the whole site like English, didn't find it. And then he suddenly was like, wait, there's no crest on this. And I didn't notice. I was like, you're right, there's nothing on there. Like it's just Westminster and the rest's blank. And he was like, what's happening there? And I was like, I don't know. And I looked it up. There was a big ass lawsuit like a couple of years ago. And they have to wait for some kind of copyright thing to be up to be able to buy it.
Oh, it's fucking insane. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just that the fact that could even happen with the country and like putting a crest on the jerseys is
At
just wild to me.
At first I thought it was because of obviously the world wars, like with Russia, who are now not allowed to compete under the Russian flag, that we had some kind of thing because after the world wars we weren't allowed to use it or something like that, or to make money off of it. But it was not it. It was a lawsuit. Very, very confusing.
legal issues, am I right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else do we want to talk about.
I feel like it was a good spot to end it. That was a good, like it was a fun conversation. And like I don't want to go back to the Blackhawks. So
No, I don't either.
I don't think any of us do.
No.
Let's just
I
hope
mean,
they don't.
I could go on about the German team, but I don't think you know a lot of these guys. I'm
You know
so
what? Do
excited.
it. Do it. I want to
I'm
learn.
so excited to see Nubis and Föderl together. I love these two. They are just freaking amazing. I mean, Nubis shot us into the semifinals at the World Championship. And Föderl, I don't know if you know about him, but that guy is the coolest guy ever. He's peak Bavarian. He doesn't speak a lot. He's not on social media. He's extremely camera shy, and he plays in Berlin, but he does still speak Bavarian. His teammates oftentimes don't understand him because we have like a pretty strong dialect. You can't understand if you're from the north. And there was this interview with Nubis because Nubis and Föderl are actually best friends. And whenever they are at the face-off, Nubis said, whenever Föderl is trying to say something, we don't understand him. So I always tell him, can you go slower and please say it in German? I don't know what you want to say to me. I don't know what we're supposed to do now. It's just chaos at the face-off. It's too fucking funny. And I mean, they were Lucas wingers during the last season he played in Berlin. And both their contracts are up after this season. So in Germany, they're just free to walk. They usually have a 1 year or 2 year contract. Nubis had 5 years, I think. It's one of the biggest contracts in the league. They are both up after the season. Berlin is probably going to lose 13 guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, they are all free to walk. And Nubis is probably headed off either to Switzerland or Sweden. Gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna like miss watching him play because he's incredible. And then I don't know what Föderl is gonna do, if he's gonna stay in Berlin, if he switches teams again, don't know. So this is probably one of the last. I mean, they will probably still play at the Worlds, but that's another thing. So can't wait for the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
Some
it's
pretty
a lot
good
of roster
guys.
turnover. Oh, shit.
Women's hockey is tonight. Well, for us it is.
For us, North America.
Yeah, we
North
don't-
America.
I checked it. We don't have a German women's team, so I think they
Mm.
didn't make the play-ins.
It'd be
least
nice to
mentioned
see
it.
that happen in the future, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like it'll happen eventually, though. It will.
I mean, for men's hockey, it's already hard in Germany. So women's hockey is it's even worse. Like there are not a lot of opportunities. A lot of girls have to stop playing because they are not allowed to play with the boys anymore, and there are no women's teams. There are no youth teams nowhere, even with soccer. And soccer is like a big thing here in Germany. There was this one girl who played with my brother in a team, and I think at age 15 she wasn't allowed to play with the boys anymore, and she had to switch teams, and the closest team was over an hour away, so she dropped out. And she was a big talent. She was the best one on the team. Like she outplayed the guys, and she just had to give up.
That
And
sucks.
it's just
That's
heartbreaking.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
Just hopefully,
Just
like
really-
Germany gets like this Florence Schelling, where like just like a good goalie from the young age that just like helps like propel that country to like a medal at the Olympics. That'd be so cool.
It would be.
And obviously, there's got to be skilled German women hockey players, and it would be awesome for them to
for
get a
sure.
chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm mostly worried about the men's team because you usually don't see young players coming up. Like there's just no news about it. So when they are still in the lower leagues, you don't have any way to know if there are any good players coming up or not. It's just always a surprise. Suddenly they're there. But with women's hockey, it's even worse. Like you try to find any information, but there's nothing. Like nowhere. You can't find anything except for like the Olympics team. I think they had one in 2018. But that's about it. There isn't more to it. Can't find anything.
Well, women's hockey just in general, like it just doesn't
Yeah.
get the coverage it deserves.
Yeah.
And like obviously the Olympics are a great time to see all these women hockey players play, but there's like there's so many other ways that there's like women hockey, like the NWHL, just all of that.
I, I think I looked up if there's a women's league in Germany, and I think there are like 6 teams, and they are all connected to a men's team. So
Mm.
I think Berlin, the Eisbären have Eisbären women, because they aren't able to stand on their own feet. It just doesn't work. But I have to say that most of our German players are pretty open to the idea of women's hockey, because some guys are just like, women's hockey, no one cares about that. But most of them are actually like speaking out for it and are like, yo, we want to see women play too. Like it's just a cool sport. Anyone can do it.
Exactly. And I think that wraps up the conversation nicely. Just like going back, talking about like how hockey is just such this niche sport. It's so hard to grow it, and
It's not going to change overnight, but
no,
the more we all do as a group or as a fan base of the sport to just try to improve it and try to give everyone these opportunities and get it this publicity, that's all we can do, right?
and my apologies. I said NWHL. It's the Premier Hockey Federation now. See, like I still, it's just, anyways, I think that's a good spot to end it off, unless you guys want to talk even more.
I think I'm good.
Oh, Stevie joined in. I don't know if you heard her, but anyways, thank you for coming on, Julia. It was a blast hearing you come on, talk about German hockey. A nice getting a new different perspective in there. Happy 22 day to y'all. And
Thank you. Thank you
and
so much for having me. That was a
of course,
blast.
we ought to have you on more. I think it's been too long
Yeah.
since the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I have some experience in podcasting.
Well,
Yeah, at least this time you didn't have you weren't cutting out with the internet issues. I felt so bad last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because I'm not at home in my German, like Bavarian ass village. I'm actually in my uni city. We have better Wi-Fi here, so
Gotcha.
it's great.
Nice.
And I just want to say, like, I love the German accent. I love the way you pronounce players like different than we do in North America, where we just like totally like make the names boring. Yeah.
Sometimes I have to say I feel like piece of shit for doing that, especially like on our podcast when we talk about MotoGP. There are a lot of Italian and Spanish guys, and I'm a Spanish student. I studied at university. I'm just so used to pronouncing their names in Spanish that I'll talk English and then pronounce their name in Spanish. And people are like, you're so pretentious for doing that. But it just happens. Same with, I mean, sometimes I say Dreisaitl and sometimes I say Dreisaitl. It's so weird. I have no control over that. But yeah.
All right. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in, and peace out.